today we are going to be playing some sweet Bant Titanic Control, Titanic Bant. This is the deck that we played on Tuesday, Brews Day, and which was actually on Wednesday because we had a little bit of a scheduling mix-up with some stuff. But this is actually the same exact list, same 75, other than I made one change. I cut one timely reinforcement, so we were playing the full play set and the board for a Celestial Purge. Purge just seems like a really good card right now at answering, Luris decks. It's good against the Jund deck to answer your Croxas. And Luris as a fifth removal spell to add to our paths. And I never really found a time where I was like, I want all four timelies. And granted, we never played against Burn, but I think with three timelies and three Uros and the rest of everything that we're doing here, we should be okay against the Prowess deck. But I didn't want to be kind of overboarded for that because it's like, I wanted to bring in Aether Gust and Celestial, and like now we're probably, yeah, like we had so many cards there that I felt like, Timely was just pretty much just for that matchup, the aggressive type matchups. Whereas, Timely's not as great against a lot of other things, like these mid range decks or big mana decks or things like that. So being able to bring in Purge as a way to answer Blood Moon, as a way to answer Ashiok out of normal fair decks, or out of Bant control decks, the Yorion decks that are playing Ashiok in the board, things like that, because that does kind of hurt our Primeval Titan plan a little bit, and we do have a lot of fetch lands. Also, being able to get rid of Luris is a good thing. Being a fifth removal spell against these Prowess decks is also big. There are a lot of things that this card can do, and I like it as just a one of here on the board over that fourth timely. But other than that, we were running back the exact same list. I played this list at my FNM the other day and did very well with it. The deck feels great. I think this deck is actually a contender in Modern right now because it does have the ability to go over the top while also playing this really good fair game. And I've had a lot of wins where we get down this field of the dead here and like just making our natural 7 land drops, which you already want to do as a control deck, uh, and just start grinding games out where we've played this earlier, and then on our seventh turn we just drop a fetch land and make a zombie, but we're holding up Cryptic and another spell if we need to, or we're getting to play Uro on that turn and hold up Cryptic, uh, and make some more zombies and really start pressuring the game while still being able to hold up interaction. And I think that's huge. And then also we have draws where maybe we are a little interaction light, but we have a lot of the acceleration stuff like Growth Spiral, Uro, Primeval Titan, where we just kind of flood the board with zombies and force our opponent to answer it. And we've yet to find somebody who had a good answer for everything because Uro can recur itself, fetch lands because we are playing 12, uh, as well as playing 3 Field of Ruins that also can go get basics like a pseudo fetch here. So having 15 lands that can get us 2 land drops out of our 36 that we're playing in the deck are that's a big advantage because say they wipe the board, well on their end step we can go ahead and make another land drop there, get a 2/2 and use that to attack, maybe clear, knock down a planeswalker a little bit or clear it even, or just be the first attacker in the next wave. So that we don't kind of take a turn off there. But no, this deck's been insane in all the matches I've played with it. So let's go ahead and get into a league and see what we can do here. Play with some play points. But no, this deck, I do think it is definitely going to be a contender eventually. I think it's right where I like to be in most metas, which is, uh, not a lot of people know about this deck, so they're not very prepared for it, and they don't really have a game plan against it. And it also, because of that, kind of shocks a lot of people that we have things like Field of the Dead. So sometimes you can kind of sandbag it because your opponent might not know about it or be playing around it or even have a game plan around it. We can very well win a game one just like a normal Bant control deck, and then the next game we jam a Primeval Titan and they're just like, what the heck's going on? So lost the die roll here. Never lucky. No, I'm joking. We're pretty lucky. Uh, we have our good friend Yorion to set over here. Opponent is not on a companion deck. And this hand seems fine. We definitely want to draw into another land, but we do have early interaction. So non-Lurus deck, or not non-companion deck, which is basically a non-Lurus deck. Uh, Probably be thinking Amulet or Tron or Eldrazi Tron. I don't actually think this hand's that great against any of those. So I might actually mulligan. The natural field is pretty bad, coupled with the plains, so that we can't really cast this Archmage's Charm. So we're really relying on this path being good, but it's also going to give those decks lands, which we don't want to do. And we do have a verdict, but if it's like a Titan deck or a Tron or a big Tron, like Green Tron deck, this card's just not that good because once the Titan resolves or the uh, so I think we're gonna ship this one just to. And I actually like hands like this a little bit better because we have disruption for lands, and we have, I'll probably ditch this Mystic Sanctuary. I don't know. We might keep the Mystic Sanctuary just as a turn one land and ditch the plains. I could see that. Okay, let's keep this. We'll ditch the plains. Because in a matchup like this, I figure, when we can already get a white source here. But we have land disruption, we have our Field of the Deads, and we have lands. So Chancellor of the Tangle. Oh, yay! Meme brand. I'm so excited. So yeah, definitely didn't think about this, but I don't think our random hand, if they do their thing early, I don't think our first hand would have had a whole lot of play other than we had a path. But if they just do their thing, they do their thing. Summoner's Pact. It's weird to do that before they play the land, but maybe that's correct. Sanctum. Play Rider. Neoform. This is so fun. I love these fun interactive games like this where, you know, your decisions matter and things. If you can't tell, I absolutely hate this deck. It is so annoying. And it's like, it's not even that good either. Like, there's some people who have put up results with it because they've taken the time to really get good with learning how to make their hands work and everything, but it's just so annoying that, people complain about Luris and other stuff all the time, but nobody complains about the fact that people can turn one a Gristlebrand and mill their entire deck. But, we're going to make them play it out and see if they whiff. They can do their thing. Even if we had Force Negation, it doesn't matter now. We would have already played it. And they have it here. It's just a matter of fact, like, I've seen people misclick or get too happy or go on autopilot. Right here, though, should be playing the Lab Man. And then they're going to need another way to draw a card. Yep. You got it, opponent. So good news, opponent has zero clue what we're on. I guess Purge is okay here. We definitely want Force. Gust can counter some of their stuff and slow them down if we ever make it to turn 2. Uh, this is never gonna get cast. And these don't matter. And this also doesn't matter. I think we're just kind of on the be aggressive plan and just really hope they don't have it. But yeah, I feel like this is like one of the few bad matchups for this deck. Uh, but I mean, I don't think any deck can really compete with just getting turn 1. Uh, yeah. So we're definitely going to look for a hand with Force Negation. 5 lands path is not it. I don't know. I guess this hand is actually like okay if they do their thing. We just get to path the Gristlebrand. They'll get to do their whole thing and go off, but they can't kill us. But they'll probably just put out a bunch of threats and we're not able to answer it. So I think I just want to pitch this. This hand's not great, but I think it's keepable. I mean, I think we're still just kind of stuck in the. I don't know how far we're supposed to mulligan just to hope to find Force in our 80 card deck. The Spreading Seas could take them off green though, and we have a draw with Abundant Growth to try and find stuff. So let's try it. Ice Fang Quaddle really doesn't matter here. Oh god, this is so miserable. Like this should not be a deck to like have something like this that just doesn't interact with you at all, and it doesn't even interact with like graveyards or anything. Go ahead, OP, do your thing. This head is 1 mana of any color. So I think we just want a growth here. And yeah, we're drawing a bunch of lands. But like I said earlier, I think this matchup is pretty just awful for us. Manamorphose. That feels slightly better, but not great. Summoner's Pact. have 18 cards to draw to hopefully whiff. Alright, 18. What am I doing? 14. Okay, so looks like we whiffed here. Yep. Discarded bunch of lands. Okay. We draw absolutely nothing. So I think our best bet here is to just play Snow-Covered Island. Spreading Seas, hope to find a path. Spreading Seas, the Waterlogged Grove. Archmage's Charm, pretty bad, but not the worst. Next turn we can hold up some interaction if they can't gain any life, which is what it looks like. But this is still good, because they are going to have to pay for this Summoner's Pact. They're going to 11 us. Which is not good. We will need to find an answer for these. Verdict off the top would be nice. Yep, draw 7 cards. They're pretty likely to go off here. They've gone through about half their deck, so wouldn't be too surprising. Wow. So, opponent getting very unlucky there. Either they probably have the half of it, they just don't have like the creature, or they don't have the actual ways to gain life. Jesus Christ. And so we just have to Archmage's Charm draw 2 here because we're Dobbs. And we have to hope we find a path. That feels awful. Drawn out a lot of lands this game. The biggest of the sads. That was a fun interactive game of Magic. Alright, on to game 2. Round 2. Or maybe we can not play against Neo Brand. And I will agree there, our hand's not great. The one we kept, but we did draw all. I don't think we drew a single non-land after we kept. And we had 3, 4, 5 redraws. So eight cards, all lands. Where a lot of our different interaction would have been fine to help us there. Now if we draw a little Teferi there, it's still fine. We can bounce back the Gristlebrand and make it a little bit harder on them. A lot of them only run 1 Gristlebrand too. This guy's actually the trophy leader right now in Modern, so this will be fun. Playing a Lurus deck, and I like this against Lurus. I think it's good against a lot of the stuff that the Lurus decks are doing, so I will keep. Uh, Likely on, yeah, the black red Powerhouse deck. That's why he's the trophy leader, because he's just playing the best deck in the format. And he's also a very good player. No, not to say that, but uh, usually if you're leading in trophies, it's because you're on something that's pretty good. Uh, the interesting part here is, how much damage do we take from. We're likely going to get Thought Seized or Inquisition too to help pump up the Soul Scar Mage. I think we would just want to shock here. Feels weird to do that. Kind of signals to them that we have Path, but. And I'll take one here if they don't fire anything off. Yeah, that's fine by me. Yeah, and I will definitely hit this before I hit. Yeah, because Kiln Fiend scares the living crap out of me. Kiln Fiend is a very good card. And here, I think we're just going to. So this is kind of awkward because all these cards are pretty good. Mana Leak here is probably fine to answer another threat or a relevant spell that they might have, so I think I'm fine to just hold that up. Like, yeah, hitting an Abbot here is good. So we've answered two threats. Yeah, this is where the Thoughtseize comes in. Yeah, I'm fine if they want to take any of these. Probably makes our decisions a little bit easier. They'll probably take Uro so that we can't gain life. But then next turn we're just, double cantripping, taking them off of red a little bit. Go ahead and yield through their turn because it doesn't matter. We have no interaction. Yeah, makes sense. Take two. We're still at a pretty good life total. So this is likely going to get snow-covered forest. So actually, we're just going to Astrolabe first because I think it's the safer one here with the way our mana works. Because now we can kind of. I don't know how many basics they play, but I'm sure it's enough that this isn't going to matter too much. But I think go ahead and getting it down so that we can not hurt ourselves anymore. It's pretty good. We'll just go ahead and take them. We're gonna try and cut them off of as many. I mean, getting both sources here is always good. And they're low on cards. This would force them to tap all their other mana to play Lurrus, and then they can't play anything else unless they have another land. We have all the lands in the world, which is always fun. They get a basic there, so, if we don't have anything to do next turn, we can very well just, yeah. And they didn't replay that Soulscar Mage. This is okay. Not too big of a. But we would like to draw some interaction here, please. Of course not. So Next turn we're gonna get hit for a pretty decent bit of damage. We can field them here. I guess we can field them on their turn. Like on upkeep, we can field them. And just hope they don't have instants to make it worth giving them extra mana. And then we can fetch here and get a Mystic Sanctuary to put Path back on top. Does Path even matter though? Or are we just like jamming? We might just be jamming Yorion next turn. And I think that's what we're gonna do. Just trying to take them off of as many black sources as we can. Yeah, I don't think they have any black instant. Oh, Cling to Dust, which hits Uro. Sure, that's annoying. So we're gonna get. I already know we're on green, so we might as well just get snow-covered forest. Because I don't think Path or Mana Leak matter right now. I think next turn we're just casting Yorion and drawing a card if we don't draw anything important. Bill's Lightning Bolt. That was a great draw. Yep. Puts us to 11. This is going to be 9 damage. So yeah, we're probably just dead here. We need to draw. Yep, we're going to go to 2. We have to draw Verdict. Looks like we're only out here. Archmage's Charm does not do it because we're just going to be able to block one thing and we're taking the damage from the others even without spells, so yeah. Gross. Timely. Purge. Gust. Get Jace out of here to Fairy. Not too hyped about Spreading Seas, but I think it's okay. Definitely want Uro. Their spells aren't that important, so I don't think Force and Negation's that great. Like their non-creature spells. It's their creatures that are more important because they're a prowess deck. We definitely want these. I like Quaddle. It's really Growth Spiral. Growth Spiral is just the most mana card that we have. I don't think bringing in Veils to counter their discard is worth it. Then I think we're just overboarding. We want to gain life, and we want to answer creatures. So let's do that. I think this matchup's still fine. Like, it's not like some kind of unwinnable thing. We'll keep, because we have turn 3 Verdict. Or if they don't have enough on the board, we can hold up Archmage's Charm. So we just have to draw another land. So yeah, keep. Get this insulation through some discard here. Alright, so let's just get tapped breeding pool. There's nothing we draw into. So like this Prairie Stream's going to come in tapped either way, so there's nothing we really draw into. We'll just make them think about playing around like Mana Leak or something. Collective Brutality just for the instant or sorcery. That's fine. We'll just go ahead and... Actually, we already have one of these, so I think we just let them look, just in case we draw something that's really good. Because we're doubled up here. Take Archmage's Charm, which is smart. Drawing Uro there is definitely not bad. Drawing... Wow, they actually have a lower life total than us, which is weird, since we have Timely. This will come in handy here in a little bit, though. Let's see if we can hit a land off this Uro. Sweet. That is always nice. So we need another white source to cast either of these verdicts. Spell Bomb for the Uro. That's unfortunate. Yep. I'm gonna pay black and draw a card here. That's totally fine. Yes. Making me feel pretty good about what could be in their hand. Yep. Take 2. Let's go ahead and fire off Growth Spiral here. Nope. And then we're going to wait here so that we can fire off at Timely. I want to gain the life off Timely if I can. If I get double discarded and they take the Timelies, I think that's, you know, it's fine. I don't think it would have slowed them down all too much. Yeah. Petition to make timely reinforcements an instant. Cling to Dust to hit the timely. Yeah. Another Soul Scar Mage. Hit us for 3. Spreading Seas. And hit the Blood Crypt. Just to take them off more black mana. I don't really care about the Sunbait Canyon too much. There's a land. Can fetch Shock here. Just so that we can gain the life. Get our... Actually, we're going to fetch Shock here. And just wipe the board. Actually, I don't know, because next turn then they just get the Luris and play these again. So maybe we do just want to... No, I like having the threat, so yeah, we want to... Just Verdict here. When they Luris replay one of these and we can Verdict again. Or they're going to be forced to have discard. Yeah, it's pretty easy. Snap off Luris, play another Soulscar Mage. I'll play a Nihil Spellbomb, okay. I think just verdicting away this Luris is totally fine. The amount of value they get off this Luris is a lot. They got to draw a card already, and they're up on cards on us. Swift Spear. I don't know why they tapped all their mana. K command. Return Luris. That's pretty good. And make me discard a card. Yeah, that was really good. They baited me into that real good. Uh, but we might just be okay. We have 5, so we can go get a different land. And Field of the Dead. Yes. Can go get Field of Ruin. Field of the Dead. That's like a pseudo fetch that doesn't lose its life. And you'll do the turn. Let's see if we can pull this game out here. They're going to need a lot of direct burn because they're not going to be able to attack through this. Likely for the rest of the game. Take this Luris, okay. And then replay Soulscar Mage. Or they can crack the Nihil Spellbomb and then replay it. Or replay both Soulscar Mages, yeah. Seems good. Should have waited here. To play that fetch. We're just going to attack with everything. Go get double Field of the Dead. Bolt us. That's fine. They block here. There's no reason to or try to field them off of this. Yeah, sweet. We got there. And I bet they really weren't expecting that. So yeah, I like where we're at here. I think as long as we can draw our hate cards and get to the later part of the game, I think we're fine. It's just not losing on turn 4 is going to be our biggest thing. This is a pretty good hand to do that. We have turn 1 Astrolabe to kind of help fix our mana up a little bit. Feels bad though because we could very well just not draw lands, and we really need to hit lands with this hand. We do have the Verdict though. If we get discard spelled on turn 2, they have to take if it's not it's like the brutality that they were bringing in or had in their main deck. Verdict is going to be the only thing they can take Teferi's not bad here to kind of, especially if they start on Soulscar Mage. Uro's pretty good to bridge us into this Titan. I think we gotta keep here and just hope we draw into these lands. Yep. Every game, turn one Soulscar Mage. That is not a land. Though I'm totally fine to have it if we can draw another land. Okay, we're good. We are good now. Next turn we get to play tap to Breeding Pool, eat whatever damage they got coming at us. Brutality's fine here. They have to take the verdict. We're gonna get to cast Uro and then follow it up with another Uro, or we can cast a Fairy if they have, like if they play at Kilnfee next turn or something that we're kind of scared of. That just buys us a turn. Let's play Astrolabe here. Snow-covered island there. Not gonna pay 2 life. All right, we're looking pretty good here. There's a bobble. So they could very easily bobble into land Luris bobble again, which would be good. Abbott. Abbott's a fun one. I got a Sunmate Canyon. Gonna get to play that. Get in for a 2. That is the good thing about this deck versus a lot of the other decks. It's not as fast. It's a lot grindier. And it's able to, kind of hobble you so that they can get across the finish line. But, alright, sweet. So let's... So both of these have prowess. They get card advantage off of the Abbot, so I think we just want to Uro here and bridge ourselves towards our Primeval Titan. Aethergust, not a bad draw there. And if they cling next turn to get rid of the Uro, we don't care. Like Uro's here mainly for the front end ability, and the other half is Morpho. So there's a Morphos they can't cast, so that's nice. Cling, Thought sees us. It's kind of sad. They're probably going to take our Primeval Titan, but we have a lot of other good cards against them. I mean, next turn getting to go Uro into a possible Teferi is good. We are eating a huge chunk of damage here, though. They take Uro, which is interesting. I would have thought for sure they were going to take Primeval Titan. Getting for 5 here. Sorry, this doesn't have haste. Thank God. So here we just get to Teferi, bounce Soulscar Mage, and then gust one of these. Just because only reason we're getting rid of Soulscar Mage over these two is because this kind of pseudo draws them a card whenever it enters. Swift Spear. It's fine. Had the other Thoughtseize too. That's unfortunate. So we probably want to Just let them take their choice here. It's definitely going to be this Primeval Titan. But next turn we do get to Uro. Or we can actually... Okay, so we actually have a pretty good line here where we can fetch up okay. This is pretty good for us. They have to send both of these. They're sending everything at us. Okay. Let's bounce back Abbott. Take 5 here. Let's see, where'd they put that? They put Abbott on the bottom. Okay, so we 1, 2. Mystic Sanctuary. Sanctuary gets back Verdict. Yes. Put Hinterland Harbor into play. Plus the ferry, we can Verdict on their turn. Next turn we have Uro incoming. Our life total is also getting very low because of these Sunbait Canyons. Just going to play Luris here and Bobble. EE on 3, okay. So I'm perfectly fine with EE on 3. We're still going to cast Uro here. Actually, I think it's EE on 3 and then we follow it up with Yorion. Or not EE on 3. We just go ahead and cast Uro. Just to keep our life total high. And if we can draw into a Field of the Dead, it'd just be absolutely insane. Put this into play. Alright, Mage's Charm's a pretty good one. We can plus here. So we can actually right now gain control of their EE. And I think that's the line. And in doing this, I think we want to get Mystic Saint, or we can get Prairie Stream because it's gonna come in untapped, not hurt us. Blue, blue, blue. That way, if they play Luris, we can blow it up, but now we get to decide. Got there. That's sweet. That's the trophy leader right there. Like you can see, he's up. They're up here. 21 undefeated trophies. Last one they got was 4 days ago. Like that's a big win right there. 2-1 in that one. That was sweet. That was a good game for our deck to show that we can beat we can do a pretty good job right there. Like right there, I think like their only line that they had was to just try and buy time into drawing burn spells. So like their next turn was probably going to be like couldn't even be Luris play Bobble because they were at 6 and we had the Uro and they knew we had Teferi to bounce Luris, so they had to have two other creatures, and yeah, it was just or they had to have a way to deal us exactly 9 damage. Which if they still have 3 bolts in their hand at this point in the game, then more power to them. But you got that's a lot. So this list feels great. And the loss to Meme Brand over there is actually the first loss we've had with this deck. And like I said, like losing to Neo Brand, like sometimes it just happens. Like you not much say, you don't have much say in it. We won the die roll, so unless you're playing a deck with discard or a deck that can race it fairly well, or a deck that has you know not 80 cards in Force Negation or something like that, then it's pretty difficult to go up against Neo Brand. Good cards, but no lands. So opponent also not on a companion here, which is interesting. This is a pretty solid hand. We'll probably pitch the big Teferi till we figure out what our opponent's on. Just because right now there's no guarantee we're going to cast it, but we get to cantrip the first couple turns and find some stuff. So I think we'll keep this one. It's a pretty solid hand. Got a little bit of disruption for what they might be putting on the board. So let's start off with Astrolabe here. Uro's a good one. Snow-covered forest, search for tomorrow. Okay, so this is like a Titan field or a God, I just forgot what it's called. Escape shift deck. It's not Yorion shift, so let's just play this Delta out here. Not much doing. We can get normal island. I guess actually I'd rather have normal island be able to tap for anything because this taps for snow. Okay, actually I probably did this wrong. If I had other snow sources right now, but if I would have drawn into Astrolabe, I would have felt really stupid for tapped this land. So we're looking like a Titanfield deck. Pretty through and through. Getting to jam this Teferi into their shift feels great. Or their search feels great. So let's just go white. This. Plus Field of the Dead can get Field of Ruined here in a little bit whenever it becomes more of a threat. As of right now, it's not. They can't cast this search because of the fairy. Feeling pretty good here. Alright, so this is escape shift. Normal Titan shift, I figure. So many fun options. So this costs 2 mana, and then we still have 2 mana. So if we're probably just digging for spells. That seems like the best thing to do here. Uh, so yeah, let's just Jace. Yeah, that's good. So we can put Quaddle on the bottom, or on top. Next turn we can fetch away 1 Quaddle. Yeah, so we'll draw this first Quaddle. Then we can actually go ahead and field their field. Get us a snow-covered forest. Brainstorm. Put that on top, and then that on top. And we can play Tarn here, plus the fairy. And that feels pretty good here, because now we can... we have Archmage's Charm up. We have plenty of basics, so here I'm actually just going to go get a Prairie Stream, try and keep the life total high. Counter target spell. Alright, so I don't really care about Uro. I don't really care about... So I think I'm actually going to cast this other Uro here. So we'll have 4 mana for Cryptic Command, so I probably don't care about Growth Spiral as much. So we can go... Not in danger of getting shifted. We have enough islands, so let's go ahead and play Mystic Sanctuary trigger. Yeah, put that on top. Yes, we want to use that ability. Green, blue, blue. Play Uro. Gain some life. Put Flooded Strand into play. Plus the fairy. Pass the turn. Six mana here. Okay, so we can Cryptic, counter draw. Fetch here. We can We can recast this Uro, so let's just go ahead and shock in our breeding pool. Yep. Blue, blue, blue. Colorless, cryptic, counter target spell, draw card. Alright. So now we're in danger of getting shifted, but we're not in danger of getting double shifted. Let's brainstorm here. Don't care for Field of Ruin. Don't really care for Path. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can still we'll still hold up mana for one charm and a Quaddle. I guess we can actually go get Mystic Sanctuary with this. Probably be the best idea. Since we can hold it up. So let's go get Mystic Sanctuary. Yep, get the Cryptic back. Yes. Green. Blue, blue. Green. Uro. Get rid of all the random lands. Done. Uro enters. Yes, we draw the card that was on the top of our deck. Put this into play. Play Astrolabe. Draw a card. Plus little Teferi. Pass the turn. This game just feels very over. Summoner's Pact is fine. You know we have another Cryptic. Alright, so let's go ahead and field this Valakut before it starts doing anything that becomes annoying. Get a snow-covered plains. I'm gonna actually hold up, and not play the Field of the Dead because we're so far ahead here. I don't want them to know about it. Play this land. Attack for 6. Put this land into play. Plus. They have to pay for their pact, which means they're not going to be casting anything too scary this turn other than Scape Shift. And if they cast Scape Shift, I think we're fine. Because we have... Yeah, Steve. I don't even think I care about Steve. This last Mystic Sanctuary. Get our Cryptic back. Bounce their Steve. Gotta discard the hand size. I just forgot to play this land. It's fine. Nothing really matters here. They're dead. We have all the counter magic in the world. Uh, let's just force that. And pitch growth spiral. Cool. Yeah, pretty dominant there. Get to bring in Ashiok's here. Uh, Aether Gust is also really good here. Force is good so that we can actually tap out in the face of possibly being scape shifted. Mana Leak's okay. I don't really like Spreading Seas here. We're not going to really cut them off of their mana too much. Only thing I think I would like Spreading Seas for is so we can put it on Field of the Dead or Valakut if they're trying to get natural triggers, but we really just need to make sure their stuff doesn't resolve. Jace and Big Teferi here aren't the greatest, so I think we can trim there. And I'm not a huge fan of Verdict, because once their stuff resolves, it's going to kind of be a problem no matter what. We're also a Titan deck that can kind of go wide on the stuff, so as long as we can keep their Titans from resolving too much, we should be fine here. I like everything else. Timely is not worth it. Purge, there's no real targets here. Veil of Summer isn't a thing. We'll need to play around their Veil of Summers, but they still have no clue that we're a Field of the Dead deck as well, so I think that it's pretty good. This is red-green Titan Shift. And like we were so far ahead that game is the only reason I didn't play it out, so now they still don't know. Okay. This hand is not awful. There's only one issue with it, and that is that we don't have an untapped source on turn 2. But I think I'm going to keep, because if this Growth Spiral can get cast and put one of these in play, like, we might actually not play our Astrolabe as early as we could, just so that we can, like, we might just lead on Mystic Sanctuary if we don't draw a land here. That's not a Field of the Dead. So let's lead on Mystic Sanctuary. Next turn we can Growth Spiral and put a Field of the Dead into play, and hopefully we find another land. That way we can hold up Cryptic. Not off to a very fast start on their side either. Alright, this is good, because then we can get a snow-covered island with this flooded strand. Dryad. Yeah, Dryad's fine. Let's go green, blue, Growth Spiral. Put this into play. Untap. Play this and pass. So we get to hold up Cryptic here. If they try to go like play 2 lands, shift us, we can just path. Which if they go to instep here is what we're gonna do. Search for Tomorrow is fine. Yeah, let this trigger go on. Target us. Fetch. We can. We still don't have our snow base, our snow land here. So, and I think because next turn we can play the temple, we can shotgun the temple garden and still hold up Cryptic. That we're fine. So, Trigger doesn't resolve because they don't have the mountains for it anymore. They had another Dryad though, so but that's fine. We're totally fine with that. Getting a little bit of the same stuff here. Hold up our cryptic lest they have any, in case they have anything that's super scary. Summoner's Pact is fine. If they have Veil, Primeval Titan, you know, we were going to be in pretty bad shape either way. So let's go counter and bounce. Pretty good win for us there. And now here, we don't have any counter magic to hold up. They have to pay for a pack next turn, and they can probably play a Dryad. So I think we just want to... you know, if they have shift, they're going to kill us anyway unless we draw something. It's just a matter of, you know, do we want to dig with Uro? I guess Uro could possibly get us another island, and then this could make it to where Mystic Sanctuary could do something. But we're not going to get any triggers, so our clock's much slower this way. But we could try and get back Cryptic if we hit another island. I think that's pretty risky. So I think we just have to... We can go ahead and get our other island here. And we're just going to jam Primeval Titan on them and hope that they can't follow it up. So we have 6 difference, so we can go get a Field of Ruin and a Field of the Dead, and the Field of Ruin can answer this Valakut next turn. But we're presenting a huge board here. You know, if they have it after paying for the pact, you know, they have it after paying for the pact. But we know they have a Dryad in hand, so they have 3 cards left. Yeah, they're probably just going to play Dryad, play a land here. Fetch land kind of sucks for us because they're going to get to kill our Titan, but this is fine because now we get to follow up. We have zombies, we have Uro. We'll get the Pathos Dryad. I think we're in pretty good shape here. But we get to field them off of their Valakut. So we can play Field of the Dead. All the triggers in the world. Let's field their Valakut. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 difference, so we have to get a normal island. Here's what we want, yeah. And then we can Uro. Misty in play. Trigger, trigger, trigger. Uro goes bye-bye. Path their Dryad. We have whatever they play answered, so they're going to have two threats here. And lethal on board. Just like that. We made 18. We made 18 zombies this turn. Dryad is totally fine. Summoner's Pact. They have one other card in hand. I don't want this to be like bait me because of this Dryad being. I guess it doesn't matter. Like once they cast their threat, we just like because they're just dead. Like yeah, even if they have Veil and this resolves, like they're just dead. Gust them. I guess Veil doesn't work with or yeah, Veil would work, but I'm thinking of Cavern of Souls. But yeah, sweet. We are 2-1. Need to change our record over here. Nobody's been reminding me. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Alrighty. So what do we think about this hand? We're cantripping. We got some interaction. Fixing our mana a little bit. I like what we're doing here. What is our opponent on? Opponent's on a Luris deck. So, I mean, we have an early answer and interaction if they're on burn. If they're not, they are on the play. I also really like spreading seas against burn and Jund. So if they're on either of those decks, I like the spreading seas. And we get the lead on, abundant growth. I keep this. I think this hand's pretty solid. Overgrown Tomb. Got it. And nothing doing. Interesting. Shocking Overgrown Tomb do nothing is a weird line. Let's... So we can actually just play this tapped and play this abundant growth later. And I kind of like that better because we're not really doing anything. Like if we need to pass something next turn, we can put it on the snow-covered island. But cycle Barrenmore. Okay. Weird line, but Renin 6 would be kind of unfortunate here. Goyf would be... I wouldn't mind seeing Goyf. Bob. Okay. So I think pathing Bob is probably fine, but then again I kind of want to hold up mana for Luris. Or for another threat. So maybe next turn, like we'll let him get one draw off Bob. But we're gonna be playing this abundant. I guess we can spreading seas and try and hurt their land situation a little bit and take them off green. And then next turn we can look into some other options. I think this game though, like this matchup feels so heavily favored. K Command took 3. It's a nice one to know about. There's a bobble. Verdant. Just running 6. That one's annoying. But we should be able to just go over the top of it with if we can ever cast our Primeval Titan. Uh, yeah, and they get to get back Baron more. Cutting them off with this Spreading Seas is gonna feel really good. So there's an Astrolabe. So Astrolabe actually makes our decisions are a little bit easier because I definitely think we want to hit the Bob here. See what we draw. So we could just go ahead and Abundant Growth and then play this Field of Ruin and Path the Bob on upkeep. Because I already have all the lands they're ever going to need. But I am afraid Lurrus is going to come down this turn, so I think I just want to hold up for Lurrus. And then we'll Path Bob and Instep if they're still doing anything. I think we're fine here. I mean, we're pretty equal on cards, and our cards are better. The worst thing that could possibly happen is they just... And you know, this Bob actually might just kill them. Because they keep drawing into stuff, and they're, you know, fetching over and over again. Goif. Goif's fun. Second Goif. That one will counter. If we draw a... If we can draw into another untapped land... Okay, so this is where it gets kind of intriguing to the fact that we could just go ahead and play this Uro, like play our 4th land, play this Uro, get another land out, and I think that's what we're gonna do, and then just bridge into Titan next turn. We can go ahead and path a Goif. So yeah, blue, colorless, green, Uro. This was actually the best hit in the deck. I thought about it in my head, but Island here allows us to not only draw an extra card, but also lets our Mystic Sanctuary be alive later in the game. So and us not take damage off the Temple Garden if we don't need to or want to. We make that one green. And then Abundant Growth on this island so that it can tap for white so that we can Path to Exile when we want to. So we're going to do that on their upkeep. Like I said, this is when these games feel easy. Like I don't even care that they have so many cards because like their Bob is like slowly but surely killing them, and we're gonna just present lethal with this Primeval Titan. But they hit off Bob this time. Did it? I guess it was. It's not showing. Was it another Goyf? So they can like. Okay, Croxa. Croxa is not the greatest thing for us. But then again, I don't think it matters. So they Croxa us. That's fine. I think I'm still just going to path this Goyf. We'll probably ditch Astrolabe because we don't need it. I don't want to keep lands. Nice to see them using their black there and not for Thoughtseize. Thoughtseize is our biggest worry here. It's the only card that really just makes this game a whole lot more difficult. Granted, again, they might just die to their Bob. Seal of Fire is fine. I like that they fetched a basic there too. Path Basic is tapped. So they don't have any black sources to Thoughtseize us, even though they probably their only basic left in their deck is a black source. Yeah. So we'll take our 2. And then they kill their Bob. Play another Goyf, which is the one they drew. And this game's over. Okay, so we should play Mystic Sanctuary here because we have 3 islands. I guess we can put Path back in our deck. Probably just not even worth it actually to do this. We'll just shock in Temple Garden. Hate that we have to show them this, but this just ends the game on the spot, so I'd rather go ahead and do it. Infinilethal. Go. I hope you got some good ones. Because, boy, I tell you, you gonna need a lot. Cycles Barrenmore. Okay. Yeah. This game probably over there. There's just not much they can do. Veil of Summer's coming in. I don't know. I don't think I really care about Aethergust in this matchup, but I do like Purge as extra removal for Luris and Croxa and Bob and Brennan 6. I like Spreading Seas because you can kind of hit their mana. We'll probably cut down on a couple of Growth Spirals as always. I like our Planeswalkers here. I think I like Teferi or 3 Fairy a little bit less. I definitely don't want Force Negation because we're not in the trading resources type mood. Since we're bringing in more one drops where we probably won't want to play as many things on one, I think ditching abundant growth is a fine trim here. Yeah, little Teferi just doesn't seem as great here. They don't have a whole lot of things that interacted in its speed, so I think trimming that's actually fine. Maybe we do leave in an extra growth spiral. This is always nice to like come down and like bounce an early goif, but so maybe we do just want to stay here. This draws cards too, and sometimes it'll soak up some damage. I'm fine with leaving the one of in. I mean, this hand's not the greatest here, especially against discard. But then again, we have lands. And if we draw into some stuff, we have good cards to cast. If they don't get discarded, we can cantrip with the Astrolabe. I think this hand's fine, even though we're not really doing a lot in the early game. I don't like to mulligan in the face of Jund when my hand is like, lands and spells. Like we want to hit our land drops. And even though our spells are a little bit slow, drawing into an Uro here or something is just like complete gas. Spreading Seas right there. That card's great. We can hit the Raging Ravine or maybe a Black Source to keep them off of future discard or Luris. Scoos. Okay. So now I might just hit him on this Raging Ravine. Because this isn't as juicy a target as a Raging Ravine is. I mean, yeah, like, they definitely are going to get to do some things before we get set up and everything, but both of like all the cards we have in our hands are great in this matchup. Yeah, and if they cast Luris here, I think I'm totally fine with it. As long as they don't have Bobble. And they're not even going for the Black Source, which is kind of interesting. This also keeps them off of Renin 6, which is another reason I did it. Sure, we'll probably pitch a land here. Guess we could pitch a Cryptic. We already have one. And we look like we're going to be more on the... I think we just want to hit our lands, but we're more on the, play to the board plan right now with what's in our hand. Not sitting back with Cryptic. I don't think we're very scared of a lot of things that they can resolve. Path here is a pretty sweet draw. Gonna hold on to Path just for Luris possibilities, but... And as long as this isn't getting pumped, I don't really care about taking 2 a turn. Because right now this doesn't have just a whole ton of good targets, and we can always just Jace bounce it if it does get big. So we're just kind of chilling. Our opponent's hand isn't great. And like I said, our hand was not spectacular, but we just wanted to make our land drops get into the later game. EE for 2. Totally fine if they want to blow up their own stuff. Totally fine. Let's just get tapped Breeding Pool here. No reason to pay any life. So here's a turn where I do want to hold up Cryptic, because it looks like they're just going to pop this EE to get rid of the spreading seas, because apparently it's that annoying to them. And if they just, attack me for 2 and then blow this up, I'm totally fine with it. Luris. Running 6. Okay. That one will counter. Counter and draw. And if they pop this EE, they can do that whenever they want to. This is it's a 2-for-1 if they pop it now. I don't have any 2-drops that are good permanents for them to hit. Alright, so I'm down to Uro. Here, let's just go ahead and get a good old snow-covered forest. I guess we can just shock in Temple Garden, it's fine. Gain some life and draw some cards. So here, let's fetch Mystic Sanctuary. We can put Cryptic back on top. Put Abundant Growth on Mystic Sanctuary. Draw our Cryptic. And we can put another Abundant Growth on our snow-covered island. And draw a card since we don't have any other interaction. We have a path. Now we're pretty well set up for the late game. We could have a really bonkers Yorion turn, even though I don't think we need it. Totally fine with this. Yep, you got it. You got it, dude. Or dudette. Sure, this is fine. They hit our arrow. Totally fine. They're gonna pay black here. God, they just don't even. I guess they're black cards. They just don't even have. They're just not worth it. What can they even play here? Goif. Renin 6 probably is the best thing for them. I don't care about Renin 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 mana. Next turn we can play Teferi and then untap and have up Archmage's Charm, which seems pretty good, and that should just kind of run away with this game. Even better. Plus, we just moved to end step. We got Okay. Don't know what they're fetching for. Just tap land, yeah. Get our 2/5 color lands. We can have Charm plus Path or just straight up Cryptic. Cycle Barrymore. Goif. Fine. Another Goif. Okay, let's Cryptic. Counter draw this one. I really need now is a Field of Dead or something to get, or like a Primeval Titan to go get it to really just lock this game up. Alright, so let's plus here. Gross Spiral. Let's play Prairie Stream. We can play Jace. Brainstorm. So we'll want to put this back and this back. We're still gonna get to untap 2 lands. So then we have Charm, Path, Gross Spiral up, which is totally fine by me. I've already plussed here. We've done everything we need to do. Cool. And this game is so over, we just have to close it out. I don't think there's any cards in our opponent's deck that can somewhat bring them back into this game with how stacked our hand is and the fact that we're about to start getting Field of the Dead triggers. Luris. No. Blue. 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 Net return, avert it. Crack, avert it. Bob is totally fine by me. What's he valuing here? Get a little information. So he wants to get rid of Jace, okay. So let's just go ahead and Path Goify Boy. And yeah, they concede. So we're just going to Gross Spiral, put Fill of the Dead into play, and then make a zombie untap, and then we're going to start attacking their Wrenn, replussing every turn. I mean, our next few draws, it's not going to show us, but either way. That game was definitely in the bag. So we're at 3-1. Let's see if we can get this 4-1 dream going. League so far has been great. We've absolutely dominated the last 2 like fair-ish decks that we played because I think we're just the superior fair deck in the format. And then we had a close game with the trophy leader, Justo D'Angelo, or I think it's Justo D'Angelo. It might be Justo, but Justo D'Angelo on the red-black prowess Lurus deck that's been doing really good. It was pretty sweet, and we had some good games there. And then we lost to Meme Brand because that's a deck. And if people start bringing, you know, 25% meta Neo Brand somewhere, yeah, this deck's probably not good. Any fair deck is probably that's not playing discard at least. It's probably not good. Uh, but you know, hate that of all the things to lose to, we just lose to the janky turn two combo deck. But all right, Yorion Mirror fun. Yorion Mirror. So we haven't lost a Yorion Mirror yet. Astrolabe, Charm, and a Verdict. Obviously, this makes me think they're on a control deck, so like I kind of hate to have a Verdict in my hand, but we have Field of Ruin, we have good mana, we have Astrolabe, we have Mystic Sanctuary to get back this Charm. I think this is a keep. We just want to draw into some of our more relevant spells, but we can definitely see what opponent's on. Would love to draw into some more islands here so that Mystic Sanctuary can come into play untapped, because if not, next turn it's looking like we're probably going to have to play Mystic Sanctuary tapped. Glacial Fortress is a good one, though. Mainly just trying to make sure we have Archmage's Charm up on turn 3 to either be drawing cards or doing something with it. I also think Insano has been pretty high on the Trophy Leaders too, but we'll see. After this match, Abundant Growth. All right, so this is a pretty basic start from the Yorion decks. Nothing's really revealed yet as to what they might be on. All right, so we'll just play this here and pass. Nothing doing really. Obviously, hitting land drops is very important in these matchups, like especially these mirrors. All right, thanks for the follow, Shelby J69. Appreciate the follow. Always happy to get any support we can here on the channel. Thank you for that. I actually need to flip our record too. And probably just going to get Breeding Pool here. Don't see any reason not to. So yeah, we'll just get Tap Breeding Pool. Still not revealing a whole ton of information here. Field of Ruins are not very good in this matchup, which kind of stinks. Extra Charm there is a nice pickup. We're going to go ahead and show them that we're Bant. They seem to just be the control deck style, so let's go ahead and draw 2 here. Sweet. And can go ahead and I kind of want to sandbag these Field of Ruins just because one, I want to get more islands on the battlefield so that our Mystic Sanctuaries gets turned on, but also kind of want them to, put out a dual land that is actually worth fielding instead of just sitting out here with a colorless land. Alright, we can go ahead and fetch here. We're definitely good at the whole... Let's just get tapped Hallowed Fountain here. We're definitely good at the hitting land drops version of the control mirror. So let's just put a Field of Ruin into play here. Obviously, it's not doing anything, but I don't want to put our Mystic Sanctuary out for no value when we could possibly get some value later. Really have no clue what opponent's on. And usually in these kind of mirrors, it feels like it's whoever blinks first is the person who's going to lose, or whoever times out. And a Cryptic bounce my land. Sure. This feels like a really poor play that I just don't think is anywhere near worth it. We get a snow-covered island here. Ooh, lagging a little bit here. I mean, sure, this is fine. Just discard this other Field of Ruin. We have a ton of action. I do think that's a waste of a card on their end, though. Easily. Why are they trying to just bounce our lands here? I mean, that's fine. We'll bite. Just to not give them the ability to draw the card. This feels like a waste of two cryptics there, which I mean, I guess they can get them back. So, you know, if they want to continue to do that, they can. Three mana. Alright, so uh they are this version of the lands based deck. The Scapeshift deck. So this is interesting here. We could easily just jam our Primeval Titan. But if they have Remand, because they do play Remand, then they remand it back, and it feels pretty bad. I mean, they're just playing Cryptics to get them out of their hand. Uh, but if we resolve this Primeval Titan, it's gonna feel pretty good. Seven. I mean, they kill us next turn if they have Escape Shift though. So I think we're just gonna sit this one. You know, we're in this for the long game here. We're just gonna get a normal island here, and then play our Mystic Sanctuary as our land for turn. And just pass, you know. If they have a remand though, they still kill us. So maybe it's just best to, like, if they have counterspell, they still kill us off of our Archmage's Charm. Let's just jam. They're wasting cryptics and, not fetching. It's because they don't have lands. Most likely. Oh, sweet. I can't believe this resolved. So yeah, now we just have to get double fill to the dead, hope we don't die. Yeah, they're digging. Their hand does not seem very good. Seem like they're low on lands, could tell that, and they have a lot of interaction. I guess it's just higher up interaction. Put the scape shift on top here. Have to have a way to draw it. The fact that they pitched that scape shift is really interesting. So always the chance that they mess up here. So we'll make them play it out. It has happened before. They got all of them. Yep, should be dealing all of them to us. Yep. Alright, so Ashiok, Veil of Summers, Force Negation, and we definitely don't want verdicts. We probably, yeah, we don't want spreading seas. Growth spirals are usually okay to cut. I don't know, I might actually like growth spiral in this matchup because we are a little bit grindier and we want to be ahead on lands if we can. We want to keep up with their mana advantage. Maybe we just trim a growth here. Jace feels worse because of the fact that they have a combo. We're not trying to grind them out, so maybe we just go here. And we just kind of want to get some pressure going here. Natural Field of the Dead triggers is usually how we end, drawing into our lock pieces and really good in our strong planeswalkers. It's usually how we win here. Opponent played that really well, even though I don't like the whole cryptic bounce your land idea. But I'm assuming I guess he thought it was a straight up mirror. and he just wanted to be, or they just wanted to be ahead on lands. Always interesting. So we'll be on the play here. Yeah, I'm down. Cantrip tribal, let's go. Uh, cool. So I think we're just gonna main phase this growth spiral here. Next turn, we get access to uh, playing another Astrolabe so that we can try and hit our fourth land. Hopefully we can hit it here. Nice. Alright, now we get to pass, hold up, force a negation, or we can flash in a Quaddle. Can't think of much that we would force here. They're gonna Is It Charm here? Or nope, nothing. Cavern of Souls is interesting. That's fun. Uro's That's interesting. I haven't seen Cavern of Souls in these lists, but I do like it. Quaddle in play. Sweet. Gosh, we need to draw lands. We can't just not draw lands. We might just actually Cryptic bounce their Valakut here. Just to draw some lands. Yes. Get in with a snaky. See, like I feel like this play is a lot safer for us because we have Force Negation and because their land drops matter a whole lot more than ours. Just gonna play another Uro. It's fun. We can draw untapped land next turn. Should be just about any land in our deck. That would be awesome. Alright, so this is 5. They go to 6, 7, and kill us. They have a 3-drop that could do that. And we're dead. But we're at 19, actually, so we're not dead to that. So yeah, let's just jam this Titan in here. We're not going to be able to get Field of the Dead triggers here, so there's no use in getting Field of the Deads. We just want to get stuff like Prairie Stream and like Mystic Sanctuary to put our Cryptic back on top. That'll give us 5 difference. And then next turn, when we attack with this Primeval Titan, we can start getting Field of the Dead triggers. Oh yeah, Mystic Sanctuary doesn't work with Primeval Titan. Forgot about that, but it's fine. It's another land that I don't necessarily want to draw. So I'm totally okay with that. There's a Growth Spiral. That was the other thing, is that they didn't have double green, so they need to have another land here that is green. Renin 6. Is Renin 6 worth forcing to keep them off lands? I think so. Ditch Quaddle. Spell Pierce, wow. Yeah, you got it. We'll clear it next turn anyway. So it's just that one land drop that I really didn't want them to get. Have Primeval Titan attack the Wren. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 difference. So we can get Field of the Dead and a 7th different, which could be, get tapped. We can get Breeding Pool. Yeah. So we can tap this, field them off of the cavern. This is 12. This is lethal on board. We just can't have them have Scape Shift plus. They have to have land plus Scape Shift plus uh counter magic. Quaddle here is totally fine. Mystic Sanctuary is going to get back Spell Pierce. So right there, that makes me think they might have it. So I could go ahead and bounce back one of their lands, and it forces them to have another thing to give them another land drop and Scape Shift because they already have this part and they've already played the land. So they are if they have scape shifts, we're dead here. So I don't think we have any one mana interaction. So it's return target permanent and tap creatures, and we want to return. Probably just their breeding pool. No, because that can give them extra green sources if they do find it. But they already have three, so I don't think it matters. They have enough. They had the remand there, so they already had it all. Uh, they just have to have scape shift now, which them getting spell pierce makes me think they have it. Or they just have like natty primeval titan. Oh, they just floated the mana off of it. Sure. Yeah. Yep. Looks like they're gonna get us on this one. Uh, we were close. This combo is just really hard to interact with if they have the other interaction. The fact that we didn't draw, our Teferis or our Ashioks or anything like that did make this game a whole lot harder. Uh, yeah, that should be enough damage. They should put it all at our face. But I thought we played this game very well. Yeah. All right, so we got a 3-2 there. We lost through some rug shift. Uh, but overall, deck felt really good. We beat the trophy leader. I've seen Insano up here before, if I remember. Either way, well-known player. I've seen the name before. But no, overall deck has felt good. We're 8-2 with it, which is really good. Those matchups, both of them have been like super close. Probably, thinking back about it, I don't think that we could have done much. Like different decision, like keeping that force negation, we still get like if we keep the force negation and we don't field of ruin them, uh, to get. And the reason we filled is so we could get exact lethal on the board for the following turn because I didn't think we had 2 turns. Uh, so maybe we don't force the Ren, and we might have a different shot there. That's something we could look back at. But the list has felt really good. The only thing that really comes with this is the inconsistencies of you are playing in 80 cards, so sometimes you draw part of your deck that's just not as good. Like you draw a bunch of these cantrips, it's normally not as bad because you'll find this other stuff. But sometimes you do struggle to find like your actual ways to win the game. But I'm not mad at our losses at all. Like I said before, the Neo Brand deck doesn't feel like it's something that we should be too worried about, and I just don't think we have much play against it as is. I don't know why these are over here. And the Rook Shift deck, I think it's a good mirror. I do think they played it very well, and I think they seemed a lot more prepared uh, for mirrors and such like that with their board, like having spell pierces and stuff like that. Though I do think Veil of Summer is something that, you know, if we would have drawn, would have made it a whole lot better there. And I mean, I still like these spreading seas. I still like Gust, Purge, even though we didn't see it today. Still was fine. We got to bring it in against like Jund, where we wouldn't have gotten to bring in these timelies. And I think our Jund matchup's pretty good. So I think if you're looking on beating up on a lot of fair decks, other than like it just straight up fair decks trying to win the game through combat damage or through grinding you out, I think this deck is very, very well positioned to do that. And I think it's pretty decent against everything else too. But yeah, the decks I would be worried about the most are going to be the Prowess deck because I think it's just very good. It's just a very, very well tuned good deck with a lot of recursion. But you draw a few arrows, some timelies, some verdicts, other things like that to kind of tempo them out of the game. You can really, really start to uh, make their life a lot more difficult. Quaddle's also pretty good in that matchup as long as they don't, lava dart the crap out of it. But still, that's the one downside is that they do play a lot of lava darts right now, and 1-1s or X1s period just aren't that great. But no, our list has felt good, and I don't think there's anything that I really want to change overall. We're probably gonna run this back again sometime later on stream and try it out, but so far I've really liked this list. We'll definitely keep playing it and seeing what we can do. So guys, if you'll hang out for a little bit, we're gonna take a short break. I'm gonna switch some cards over, and we're gonna play a much faster, more interesting deck and see what we can do with it. So stay tuned for that, and I will be right back. Thanks for those of you that are watching on YouTube. Thank you guys, appreciate that. Please like and subscribe. Don't forget to follow, hit the bell icon, that way you can get notified whenever we post there. And also make sure you follow the Twitter account, that way you know when we're going live. That is at Search Cheesy to Great, same as the name up here, DAGR8. Don't forget that. Also, there's a lot of cool conversations to go on there, so feel free to jump in and over there and join in on those conversations. But thank you guys on YouTube. Stay cheesy.